Kids are the future, right? So 30 years ago, would someone think that that girl over there who's wearing the same clothes for 4 days was gonna go to college or, make a life for herself? Did anybody think that about me at that time? I don't know. But kids are the future. They're the ones we should be investing in. In my younger years, I did go to many different public schools here. We lived in the Garden Hill subdivision, and I loved that subdivision. I learned a lot about what community meant in that subdivision. Somebody's granny was my granny. If they were being fed, I was being fed. I always had kids to walk with to school and to walk home. I really, really loved that neighborhood, and that school was really good to me too. First, in grade school, coming into care, when you're taken by someone you don't know, and you're taken to your home and you're told to put things into a bag. And I didn't know that I was gonna be putting my entire life in this bag. I just grabbed my favorite stuffed animal, a couple outfits, because you don't know. I didn't know I wasn't going back there. So you get placed in a home, thankfully for me, with the most loving people, caring people, but I still had challenges in that two-parent loving, caring home. I was separated from my siblings. I needed therapy, I needed counseling to process the trauma of being separated from my siblings, being separated from my parents. Even though your parents are abusive, you still love them. So I didn't know what I was going through was not healthy. I did not know there was something wrong with that. So over time, just the consistency of having the caring and the support to walk you through these parts of life that are not normal, it takes a lot of love. I'll tell you that, a lot of love and a lot of good people. Junior high was huge. I had just had my first year in foster care, and I met Miss Kathy Alexis. She was my homeroom teacher, and she was tough. I didn't know how to read very well. She did not want me to fail. She did not want me to be held back, and she did what it took to make sure that I was raising myself to her classroom standards. And so she really, really pushed me and challenged me in ways that I needed. And at the end of the year, I just remember feeling so proud of myself in a way that I really never had. And I think that's probably the start of me starting to succeed in school and in life.
Amy is one of those rare young people who took advantage of the opportunities that the child welfare system provided for her. She went through the school system and had wonderful supports from her teachers right here in our community. And she went to college and she got herself a degree. And then she chose to take all of that, and instead of going as far away as she possibly could from this child welfare system, she has dedicated herself to it. I have been the state's attorney since 2004, and Amy has been at CASA for a number of those years as the CASA volunteer advocate.
I think that any good leader is somebody who's down in the trenches, getting dirty, and they're doing it with someone else. They're not above someone else, they're not looking down, they're right there with them. They're pulling them together as they go. And if I can do that for as many kids as I possibly can, then at the end of the day, I'm gonna feel good about it.
Amy herself was a child who experienced foster care. And I think that has always given her such a unique perspective into how the child welfare system affects the child. So Amy understands that because she experienced it. And I think that gives her just an amazing ability to empathize and, therefore to support and help those children.
Kids need to see that you can do it. And different kids that, like I said, grew up in different social settings. Everybody needs to aspire to be something in their life. They need something to work for. And it always comes down to hope. Hope does something different for every person, but we all need it. Kids are the future. they're the ones we should be investing in. And I just can't think of any other better work than lifting up the kids that are the most vulnerable. They have a lot of power. They just need to believe that they do.